Hello there. How goes the people? Or the one person that is here? How do you do? Hope your day or night or whatever time it is going well. I am opening this up. What just happened? Cool. So, we are... What am I doing? What was I doing? I think I got like most of the way done to adding effects. But there's still some... The effects are there, we can change them. But they're not actually doing anything because what happens right now is we always call unconsumed from the data side. Now, that is problematic. Consume. So the problem is that we've now have all the effects that happen. They're on the actual item, not on the instance. So what's the one reference? Do we just... Yeah, so what we could do is just pass in the instance. Instead, because we have the instance variable. So that's probably the best way. So we go consume, change this to consumable item instance. And then we go like this. Say if oh no, here we go. Consumable item data equals consumable item dot type data. Then we have the same thing here, but instead instead of doing this on consumed, we shall go and have something in here. No, not in here. Oops. In here. This should have to have it on consumed. So this can be public. You shush. Public void on consumed. It should take an int amount. And we can do the data or the typed data dot on consumed still, just in case there's something we want to specify in the data side, even though I'm trying to get away from that. And then we'll go for each consumable item effect. Item effect in the item effects. So iterating over all our effects. We'll go item banked dot on consume. This should probably take an amount just to be more accurate, I think. I mean, I could just call it a bunch of times, but it's only overridden by one thing right now. It's this. I think though, like, it's kind of silly to do this because it's basically, if you're doing it multiple times, it's just doing this whole thing multiple times. So it's probably just better to do it in here, because then you don't have to write that code over and over again. I is less than amount. I plus plus. Still do the brackets. Okay. So we'll consume it like that. And then in the inventory manager, again, we're going to go and just go consumable item dot on consumed. Yeah. Okay. And then this just passes in the instance. The one thing about this, it's kind of weird. I kind of want to remove it from the list potentially if you've like used all of them, but I could also just go to the item instance and lower the count. Because that would be a lot quicker. It also has a weird thing where it could remove a different instance technically than what I'm using, which is kind of awkward. But also I don't necessarily know that this is the item instance that's in my inventory. I could add a specific one saying public void remove instance. And this takes similarly like this. And I'm going to say Isami removes a specific instance from the inventory. Because this is kind of like different than the above one. Because the above one you could have like a cost thing that is an item instance that's like not actually in the inventory. And then we're trying to remove basically that type. But in this case, we're actually removing a specific instance, which is different than other things. Maybe I should make this a bool. I want to say, do this again. It's true if item was in inventory. Or maybe I can go like instead of so consumes a specific inventory and removes it if needed. So to consume, we're gonna go to count. Kirby, what's with all this barking? You need to go back inside. Being a naughty doggo. What a naughty doggo. With all this barking. Hey, it actually showed up. Cool. Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna send the doggo out. How do you stay? You're good. Alrighty. I have returned. Without doggo. We have just fake doggos now. The quietest, most best behaved doggo. Not the best doggo, but just the most quiet and best behaved. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... Let me just check one thing though. If I'm consuming it, in Inventory Manager, it does normally remove the count. So maybe this should be an int. There's the count used. Normally count unless restricted by item amount or something. I don't know. So what we're gonna do is you can go to consume dot count minus equals count. No. All right, I have to like do a different thing, right? So if delta is greater than 0, you're adding it to the stack count and then returning the delta. If it is less than 0, we're subtracting it. We're trying to see how much we can remove, and then we return the amount that we have actually removed. Okay. Int count used equals that. Now if to consume. Hey Rez, how's it going? Good luck again. Assuming that means you have to dash, but you just drop it in to say hi. Is less than or equal to 0. No worries. It's nice of you just to drop in. More than usual, yeah. Any amount of chatting is nice. Let's see. I'm getting a ping for something else. It's okay. Got it. That's impressive. That's the one where you can like only save a few times, right? Like you have a limited amount of saves that are possible before you just like that's it. So it's not quite permadeath, but it's like treading balance there. I think that's what I heard about it. And everything's just tough. Why do I keep getting pings about something? Something is... I don't think it's Discord because... I don't know. I just keep getting pings. It's just driving me crazy. Oh, okay. So you actually have to, like, yeah, you can't die to complete it. Okay, damn. Yeah, I can definitely imagine that'd be tense. I definitely want to have some sort of mode like that in my final product of the game. It's like where you can't, if you die, you lose your save, or it becomes something else. It definitely sounds fun. So what I want to do is basically actually this. And return at used. What I'm doing now is I'm refactoring a lot of my items. Because before my items, actually I can show you the consumables. So I had, like, for example, a bandage item, and it could only heal. That was the only thing it could do. It's no longer even showing that part. Basically had, or the sedative, for example, it had a reduction amount for reducing stress, and that's all it could do. So I couldn't have a thing that gave health and reduced stress or something, for example. So now I'm making every item, instead of being kind of like a one-off type, it has effects, and you can add a bunch of different effects, and so that the items can actually have multiple different things on them. It's a big change. But I think it's going to be needed for these type of things, because I want to have lots of different items, and if I need to have that, I need to have a variety of effects that they can do. So I'm consuming. I consume the instance. Then I need to go here. Really kind of weird that I have two things here. I could just combine these. All right, so I just do this instead. This could just come with me over here. There we go. Count to consume. Right, again, let me just delete this. Okay. Oops, too much. So if we do, it's gonna be a lot of items. Yeah, I will have those two at least, but I'm like, it's also kind of when I get into the hunger and thirst systems as well. The kind of thought was that they could also be healing you a little bit too. And I was probably going to be making pills and sedatives, or bandages and sedatives, a lot more rare. So they're going to be the really like rare type items that you'll find, because they won't have like a limited use. You can always use them. But then the health, like the hunger and thirst items, you can use them. They'll be more common, but you can't use them once your hunger or thirst are maxed out. So they have a limitation there. And they probably won't be as effective as just purely having these bandages. But then I can actually make those rarer and then have like other items that you find. And that's the idea there. Okay, so consume. Now we have that. The item gets consumed. Okay. I think that should now do things. I am getting this issue here, which I want to fix. So that I can actually see my editors. Right. Yeah, no, thanks for dropping in and chatting. Have a good look. So the thing that's happening here is that these editors are getting nulled. I think that happens because I recompile. So what I probably need to do is set a do I have a create? Okay, I don't think that's what I want. Guess I could just do like a null check and then build them. Let me just go check. Do I still have list editor? So in this one, editors, go find all references. the refresh, which clears the editors and then adds new ones. That's in the add component. We create one. Editor, create editor. I wonder if it's the is dirty check. You could rebuild it after. That might also be another thing. Let's check. Where else does it get set true? On an undo reform. Reset. On an add. On a remove. Although, right now I'm not even setting is dirty to false. So that is kind of weird. So if item effect data equals null, just continue. Or actually, why don't we? Yeah, no, we'll just continue, I guess. It's a bit an annoying limitation that I have to go through it like this, because item effects isn't actually this. What I could do is I could make a public class, call it an effects list that inherits from list of T, but also could implement iList of item effect data. And so this would just return this dot is read only. Basically, in all of these, I would just go add item. I guess in this case, I'd probably go if item is T typed item, then we add just to specify this dot typed item, just to really be clear about what we're doing here. Go this dot contains I guess I could just say as T in this case, as T. Don't even need to do that. Just go return A. This dot contains, yeah. And then oh, this is an interesting one. Array index. I'm gonna figure out this one first. Okay. This one is pretty easy because it's just a this index. But then this one is kind of like this of so it needs to be a little bit more advanced. So we go go value is T typed, and then we go this dot index equals typed item. And then do have to get a few more of these. Okay. I wonder if I can return this dot I enumerate dot get enumerator. Does that work? Because it's the same type, right? Yeah. Cool. So I'm just going to do this one for a move. Insert, kind of more like this, where if it is then we go this dot insert at index. There. Now copy 2 is the only one left. Okay, so now copy 2 is a little bit weirder because it needs to be of an array type of this, which you can't just create, but array index, I just need to look up. If I go C# copy 2, just want to know what the index means. Starting at the specified index of the target array. Okay. Alright, copies the entire of the target array. Okay, yeah. So it's just, yeah, so it starts at that index. So then we would get an int count equals my count minus array index, and then we would make a new actually no, copies to an array that already exists. So I don't even have to do really any of this. I just need to go for int I equals array index, while I is less than array dot count. Actually not. Guess I is equal to 0. Well, I is less than array dot length, and all right, this shouldn't be a comma. This should be a semicolon. And I plus array index is less than count. I is plus. Then we just go array I equals this I plus array index. I think that's how it goes. I don't even know where this is used really too, so I don't think I need it that badly. But the whole idea here is that I can then go, and instead of doing this stupid IEnumerable, I can go I list of item effects base item effects, and then just make this a get. And then basically we go into here, and instead of doing this, you just go override, and well, I guess I'll have to remove that in a second, but just make this a fx list, new fx list, and then this will just return fx item fx. It is an I list of that. So that should hopefully work a little bit better instead of having to do this silly shenanigans. So then what I can do is, instead of having to go the build thing, I can say for int I equals 0, comma, len equals dot base item effects dot count I is less than len I plus plus we are gonna go and take if I want to basically make a list so if effect editors dot count is less than, or if I is less than the count here, we are going to need to go so it's less than, and then then else we are going to try to get it. So if it does contain it, then we're going to try to get the editor at least. Editor .I if editor equals null, and we are going to make a new one. At this spot. Just put a semicolon there because that seems what it wants. And then what I actually want to do is just go then in this first one you're gonna go I actually don't need this part. And then we're gonna add it here. I'm kind of wondering why I'm not doing the whole cache thingamabobs. But I'll have to think about that. So, what do you think about that? Just gonna text my wife for a second. Okay. So, I guess though if it's null, I don't need to recreate a cache thing. So it just should be okay there. Then we just go and do this line. Sort of. I mean, I'm gonna have to do more things around that, but to make it not look horrendous. But hopefully that stops the whole you know, issues. One can hope. With effects does not. Oh, okay, that still exists. So we don't even need this function anymore. Means I might not even need this dirty thing, but we'll see. Woo! I don't know if I dare drink out of that water. It's been a little bit of time. Okay, so now there's just nothing showing there. Cool. Why? Shouldn't at least this button be showing up? One would think this button should be showing up. Oh, it's not showing up because this is not a serialized type. System d'un serializable. Okay. And an effect. Cool. Just crashes the whole thing. I love working with editor tools. This is the peak using of editor tools. Just crash the whole system. All right. So I added something that probably led into an endless loop somehow. It's great fun. Which I'm not seeing right now. But I could open the editor log once I get Unity back open. Unless like this. So something here. This dot index. All right. Yeah, obviously if this was referencing itself somehow it would be bad, but I don't think this is. Because it's saying T-list this, right? So I'll have to see if I go to, where's the console? Editor log. There's a different thing that I want to. Is it the player log that I wanted to open? I have to find this. Unity editor crash log. Location. Right, it's missing that app data area. Let me just get that. Is it no longer? I don't have it pinned anymore. Ah, damn. Okay. See. Users, this, app data, local, Unity, editor, vmlock, okay. No. I don't see that crash next to me. The previous log. Let's try this one more time. Let's go. Consumables. Okay. Oh yeah, so that wasn't changed at all, but that was just this was just changed. Okay, so it's item data with effects. Okay, so the add function is causing it to add too many times. Because when I go into here, I go into this, and I effectively, here we go try add. Okay, so yeah, this is actually using the other one, not the T, which it should be. Kind of weird, but I'd have to do this, but does it now actually? What if I went the I list T? It would be like this dot. There's a way to do it explicitly. I could actually go as I list of T. That would force it to be that. It's kind of annoying. I would have thought it does that, but I guess because it's kind of ambiguous to the generics, it's not quite sure which one to do. Wonder if I could make right, so you can actually go this, right? Is not found among. An explicit interface declaration is not found among them. If I copy this again, remove this, and then go. Basically, I only want to do add, right? Like, I collection. Okay, there we go. That's fine. There we go. So now it will only, if I go this dot add, Should only have the list version. Yeah, okay, there you go. A little finicky, but it works. Good. Delete it. Alright, return get enumerator. There we go. Okay. Now save. And that should hopefully work. Hopefully. Yes. Scene dot game. Okay. So now if I go to my resources folder, consumables, bandages, add an effect. Argument was out of range. Okay. It's not a crash, so I think I did this opposite the wrong way. Right, because if I is less than the count, then it can get one, and then otherwise, yeah. Okay. Jeez. All right. That actually worked, and it survived the thing. So that's neat. Okay. Now what I want to do for item effect data, so I kind of want to make a custom editor for that because this obviously is looking a little weird. So I probably do want to at least make like a box. I'm gonna make a vertical scope. Vertical scope with a GUI dot skin dot box effect on it. See what that looks. I might do another box around the whole effects. Yeah, so you get a little box. Oops. Definitely didn't want to be showing this. Oh, should really just close this. Well, editing stuff. Okay. So I have that. Maybe okay that I keep that because it does tell me what it is. It just looks kind of silly, the script there, but we are going to want to have a overarching box here. Using scope. This. That. I don't actually need to say the scope thing here. Just get new. Okay. And then if I make the effect there, and then I should have like a remove option, right? That's basically all I really need. Next. I also should probably make a title field here at the top here. Let's just make a editor. See if I got a message. Editor GUI layout dot just I guess label field. Item effects. So you could have the whole editor dot for a header. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's horrible. Okay. Definitely don't do that. Any other one? No. Dot. Editor GUI layout Was there like a inspector title bar? Editor. Editor dot. Is there a folder out here? Expanded? No. I wonder if that's why they make like a custom editor. So I think theirs are volume component editor. How does that work? Cancel. There you go. So it's set there, and then when we init it, it has an expanded volume. That's cool. No, I don't think I need it for this type of thing, but the effects hopefully shouldn't be too long by themselves. So I'm going to say true. I don't see what that looks like. Whether or not that's too much or not. I could just make a quick one that does override it. Got tempted. I wonder if I can make it encapsulated. Say item, effect, editor. Let's be class. That extends from editor. Custom editor of the item effect data. Item effect editor. Or just data editor. Okay. So in this thing, you're gonna copy the was it in here? Yeah, this whole thing. So this is going to be G this. And we can go. What is this init function? But what does this get called? Oh, when it creates it? Okay, fair. So then have a public void init. I'll even do an int index. And then let's just see what it means by inspector. Where is this defined? M inspector. Okay. Was that defined? Okay, it's only set to this. So where is this thing set? Oh, it's set and then it's initted. Okay. Okay. So we can copy that too. Ooh, didn't mean to cut it. I wanted to copy it. I don't really see why not. That wouldn't be just defined here though. Equals just right this dot inspector, and then I don't even need the, I just need this to be a get set, right? Like, so I need to have the internal one. We just target, right? Target docket type. Yeah. Okay. So these can be internal, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. And actually, instead of the name, so then I guess I don't even need this inspector part. Whoop-de-dee. Okay, so just do that, do that. Don't need to do that. We just do plus index toString. There we go. That's fine. I mean, I guess logically you would probably want to do it like this, but yeah. And then we can go to the thing where whenever we create one, editor type, we actually now have to say, maybe I do need to make this into a method though now. Okay, fine, we'll make a create editor method. Private. What are these editor called? These things. Create editor and index. Then we're gonna go copy this line. Is that. Then we're gonna go type of that. And we're gonna go index. And then we're gonna go editor dot init index, and then we go return editor. Create editor I. Just copy that line. There we go. Yeah. Oh, wait, one second. Realize that line is actually wrong. So now I need to create the editor and then apply it, and then I still have it. No. So otherwise it was going to be null when you got to the bottom part. I need to draw it. So let's do that. Then the other thing I did want to do while I'm doing this is I can then do instead of base editor type, I can make this a list of this and list this, that, and then in addition we can now do editor dot is expanded. We can set it to be equal to that. So that's cool. And then the other thing is we're gonna go in here and go override. I guess I can do this after init for the GUI part. On inspector GUI. Basically just want to do this whole loop, but missing the bracket there. Okay. So we do this whole loop, we just define it, but then I want to do one more, so it skips the script. Just to save on space there. Yeah, there we go. And then I guess I also got to do the whole if it's not expanded, we should probably not draw the editor, because that's the whole point. So let's do that. Okay. Basically just doing a whole bunch of boring tooling effects here, but no. So right now I actually can't add the same type, which I actually don't know if it makes sense to have that limitation in this system. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to actually go into here and remove that part too. Okay. So it actually don't need it. Don't need it. Okay. Sweet. Because I think with these things, I would actually essentially want something that like heals you 3 times. Because there's certain items that could actually better, like upgrades that would make that even more impactful than just a single heal. So now I should be able to go and add another healing effect. Sweet. So what I want to do is, why can't I add anything? Can I? Oh, that's weird. Well, that's no good. I just need to be able to remove them. What I want to do is I'm going to probably make a horizontal to figure out why I can't edit it. It's like immediately nulling out those effects, but it's kind of weird. But basically I want these to be still vertically aligned. Doesn't have to be in a box. I guess what I could do actually, instead of doing this whole silliness, is I put this over here. right? And then after this is where we put the if GUI GUI layout dot button X, and maybe let's just add a GUI layout option dot width. We'll just make the width 16 or something, not too big. Then if it is that, we're gonna go sp dot remove or delete array element at index I. I do remember there being something like in list editor. Or when they drew their editors. On internal inspector GUI. So it would update the serialized object, would then draw all these things, and then it would apply the modified properties. Which maybe that's needed. It's like maybe a version of this. Well, go over here. We don't need to draw the top row fields. Probably don't even need the space, really. I guess it doesn't hurt. So let's try that. If we draw that instead, that fix the issue of the things not appearing as they should, things like that, you know? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Not me. Not me at all. I would not be aware of such things. Okay. let's do check. Okay, so 16 is not quite high enough. So I want to change that to like 20. And then I also want to do GUI layout dot expand height equals true. So that works to make that look better. But let's see as well. Can I actually write things now? Yeah, I can write things. Yay. Let's see if I write -40 and then 30. It should net me -15 health, but we'll see if that actually works now. All right, cool. And I think if I do this, this isn't no array was provided. That's interesting. Retrieving array element, but no array was provided. Because this should be looking at item effects. Let's see if this actually can work. Because it is display name. It is not an array. Item effects is what? Type effects list. Is it because it's no longer a list? That's unfortunate. It doesn't actually think it's a list anymore. So then what I have to do is a lot more complicated. This is nice when you can do this one because it's all handled internally with like undos and everything. But this way is not going to be so simple. So what you gotta do, I find it a music. I don't need, that's not music. Yeah, let's continue watching this. Let's do this one. Okay. Yeah, so I can't do this. I basically have to manually delete it from the array, which means I have to cache here int array to delete equals new equals -1, and then no, it's not array, it's index. And then in here, if is greater or equal to 0, we are going to do something. But in order for that to happen, we actually need to set index to be equal to I in this case. Remove that, and then we go do dot record object, I think is the thing. Or is record object the one that's... None of these showing up. That's super annoying. Unity object. Okay. So yeah, so we just record objects. I guess I should say targets. And this needs to be a string. Effect at index. I guess I could actually specify the index. Alright, index to delete. To delete. Yeah. And then we go and dot remove at I or this. I guess I just have to go effect editors dot remove at I, or not I again, index to delete. And that's the I know this other thing does it pretty substantial amounts of things. Load the list first. Definitely not doing any of that type of thing in this system when I'm adding something. It was just going to the target. That's probably why they did the whole editor thing there. See, I'm wondering if these things actually stick around. If I say to let go of the code second, if I like save here and I quit out of Unity, for example, and I reopen, are those values saved? Is the question that I would have. Because I feel like the answer is no. I probably actually do have to do this. Copy that and move it over to here. Yeah, so how do they, what are they talking as the asset? Right, okay. In this case, asset is item data with effects. I do have a reference for that. I think I could probably go dot just triad here. Type. But it's not gonna store it yet. I guess I do. Right, so this returns a bool, but could I turn this into instead? Yeah, I could change this into an item effect. Okay. This, and then this, and then just turn that or null. We'll do that later. We'll have to do this first, probably, and then add it. Nope. I'm not sure. I want to know. I think I can do like undo group. So you set the item effect. So hopefully then I can like group that all together in one undo. And current group index. If I just do that, would that do it? I don't know. We'll see. Of course, I still have to call this, which I need to know in this thing. When I'm putting this in, I actually need to provide the editor rather than anything else. Because that's the thing that needs to be called now. Okay, so then this thing needs to actually now know the base effect type. Okay. And then this would just be add component. But yeah, I do need to get the base effect type. Ooh, this is a lot of tooling, which is probably fairly dry as content goes, but super needed though. This is gonna help me so much later on. I am trying to get this thing to know about base type. So base type is a thing on here. So all I need to do really is just make this be underscore item dot effects dot base effect type. There we go. And bing bada boom, it now knows about that. So that's cool. Alrighty. Menu resources, consumables, bandages. Yeah, so I rebooted this and yeah, they disappeared. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Negative 45 and then 30. If I undo now. Yeah. That is unfortunate. You can delete them, but they don't. Seems weird. So that must mean in the debug version of this, I just have missing items. Oh, that's icky. Hmm. I wonder if I can go like just this, not remove. I thought there was a remove all, but and yeah, the easiest way would just be if no effect editors, but equals null. Or I guess I. If it equals null, then we're gonna go this dot remove at I, go I minus minus, and continue. Next, want to play. I want to check here. So right now it's showing them, but if I go back to here, I did get a null thing, but did that remove it? No. Weird. Because len is static. Okay, so I gotta go len as well, minus minus. Should still remove at least one of them, but I don't know. It's also weird that it's not continuously giving me that, but debug, still technically there. Huh. wonder if it's because it's like the default size or something. It's very weird. There we go, now debug. It's seeming to work. It's still not great. Add an effect, add it. That one works fine. When I add it back, it has problems. Yeah. It's kind of weird. What if I delete and then undo? Undo doesn't quite work there either. This would be so much easier if these things were classified as a list. Just kind of accept that undo is probably not going to work very well, but like this part works fine, right? Like I can add it, add some numbers. That part works fine. Just the undo that doesn't quite work. Which is probably fine. What I need right now. I don't want to spend like eternity on this, right? Okay, so let's just go. I need to make sure that these actually work. So save, play. The other thing I need to do is go underscore item bidding specs dot at this. If we are grabbing this thing, we should delete it. And then removing it, and then removing the editor that displays it. Okay. Now, do I have any pills right now? No. Seeing that all of these are selected. I guess because there's nothing selected and they're nothing. That's interesting. Okay. Let's add some consumables. Add 8 of these. Consume. So now nothing is happening. It's not even doing the base effect. No, this wasn't attached. Oh, do it. Okay. No, still not calling that. Okay. Okay, so wait, this is a different consume than I was just editing. Why is there? Oh no, it was the right one. Tool item, change count. It's count 2. It doesn't have any item effects, which is a problem, but I can fix that. Yeah, so why is I'm doing -1 change count? Oh, it should be plus. Wait, shouldn't delta be equal the count to remove? It should equal the count to remove. Oh, I like just changed this line, but it should equal it because if it's the amount that I'm actually removing. And so I think it was like inverting itself. And then the other thing is that the consumable item effects are not being generated. So now Unless I'm getting logs, which I'm not. That item should be having effects. So let's play. Okay, so I did get some item effect keywords. Some being created. Okay. Item. Let's give myself 8 of these. Okay, now how many item effects do I have? Item effects is null. That is interesting. I'm gonna get a null ref then? Wait, should this be public? Is it like not doing the constructor because it wasn't public? Maybe that's why. It's weird. Right. So maybe it'll work now. Maybe. It's still saying that item effects is null. It did recompile, right? The absolute F. The base here should be going through and creating these effects. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay, I know why. I was creating a different list, but I was never assigning it to this. Okay. I'm a dummy. Gets to assign things. And then wonders why they're null. Yeah. Come on. Let's see this. Let's see this work. Do 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 do. This one. Let me go and see and clear it. What was so important? Right. Load game. It sells 8 consumables. I might as well just save that so that we have it. And then we're gonna consume. Haha! Haha! Only damages me 5 though. Oh yeah, because you're getting 10 from this, 10 from that, and then you're getting damaged for 45. So it heals you up 40. Yeah. Okay. Math checks out. Math checks out. Yeah. The biggest downfall to this is that, like, the way that I currently set this up is that the effects actually, like, I guess if I change the effects still like my consumable item instance creates these effects based off of its data. And so when I have a quote unquote consumable item effect, it still gets the data, right? Like it has the data on it. And so that's what it's using on consume, hypothetically. See that probably in modify health effect, right? It's just taking the data and doing that. Yeah, so my worry was that, like, if I add effects to items, I have to reload them right now. I think, yeah, they might not, yeah, they won't take the place. So maybe that is a better way to do that. Because instead of like creating a list per item, I could we have the data item effects. Could I so yeah, this goes to this item factory, effect factory, and tries to create them. I think it's kind of fine. What? So the reason why I didn't want them to be in the effect data, right, is that to an extent, I don't want these guys knowing what they're doing in the world. They should have some data that they can use, but they shouldn't actually be executing those effects, because they shouldn't know about what the effects do or anything. No, that's right. So not this thing. Item data with effects, right? This guy. Because he has the effects list, but I didn't want the effects list to be what? I didn't want it to like be iterating and actually doing effects, because it doesn't know what the effects do. Like the effect data doesn't actually know what it does. It just has some data relating to what it will do. And the effects are the thing that actually knows what they do, and then they take that data to modify what they're going to do. But hypothetically, this could actually know a little more. I could make this consumable, like for example, consumable item data. It has the unconsumed. We could put that back, the logic back in here, and then have it go through the effects. Which somewhat makes a bit more sense than the instance having it, because it's not determined by the instance at all. So I could even go and do something like in the effect data, we could have like execute effect, right? And then this returns an item effect. And then we just have, say this would have a public abstract. This should be an abstract class, sure. Abstract execute effect or something, right? So we just have an empty action, doesn't do anything. Okay, so that would do that, and then it's really supposed to end like 8 minutes ago, but I'm just now gonna completely reforge how these things are working. So maybe I'll just raid somebody and I'll do this off stream, because there's only one person watching me anyway, so it's not like there's a ton of people missing out. Although I think my one viewer. I did notice. Polyg. I thought I saw somebody went live that I wanted to raid, but they are no longer alive, or I don't know. Let's just raid Foxella. We'll say hi to him. I'll see you guys over there. I just want to finish this up because I'll do it off stream and then I won't go too late because I'll do it that way. So, see you guys over there. Bye-bye now.
Just barely raiding you. I just clicked start raid. I kid you not. Welcome in, Risky. It's good to see ya. Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. Okay. You know what? We're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna go to Cricket. We're gonna go hang out with Cricket. He's building cool stuff. You're all fantastic. Thank you for being here, Risky. Thank you for the raid. You're great. Hope all's well with the family. And we're gonna try to be back on later tonight. No promises, but I will try. And with that, we will see you.
So we say.
Oh, Uber Eats has groceries now? I gotta remember that.
You know, the best way to remember something is just forget something.
What'd you forget?
Hard to say.
I know what you forgot.
Payment made easy with RBC and Apple Watch. Offer extended. Get the new Apple Watch when you switch to RBC.
Okay, so I have a whole thing about it. I don't need to do this actually though. So
yeah, so 4 there, and then this is unfortunately going to be 5 until I cut it into 3 and a 4, but that's okay. We're going to first just get it all connected up so it doesn't have issues. We'll smooth it out. We'll get it kind of, and then we'll collapse things down. So, for example, I can already see we can collapse something like that. So then we just walk that back. Now this doesn't have to be. This has to be like this to line up with the shape of the underlying thing. So this bottom part can't change. But in here we could do extra cuts and things. So something like that we could do. And now if you remove that, see that's 4. So we can do things like that, but first let's get it all cleaned up and then we'll see how it goes. We'll find a way. Don't worry. I'm not worried. So that's 4 right there. If I cut across, then you look over here, where can that line up? It can line up kind of there. So we'll cut to say there, right? This guy can do the same thing. We'll cut to say there. There we go. Hey, Risky. Oh, no. Well, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the raid. I really appreciate it, even if it didn't go through. Let me see. Yeah, on Twitch, it doesn't show me anything for that. I'm sorry about that. How was your stream? I'm sorry I haven't caught you in a little bit. I've been having some family stuff going on. My mom's been in the hospital. 2 of my uncles are in the hospital. It's just been kind of nuts. So I haven't been available during the times that you normally stream, you know, so I apologize for that, but I'm trying. But yeah, I hope it's been going well. How's the new one doing? The little one's doing all right? You guys getting no sleep again? I don't know, maybe it's better with a second kid. Wife and I have still been trying, so hopefully one day we'll catch up. Yep, I figured. Welcome to the no sleep gang, right? Oh geez, yeah. You know, honestly, I've been reaching that sort of not to have TMI, but I've been reaching that sort of old man status where I get up to go pee a lot in the middle of the night, and it's been really messing with my sleep schedule. So I'm like, oh man, this sucks, you know, getting to that point. But also, I've been hitting the gym a lot, so I've been trying to keep hydrated. But then, of course, you know, the more you drink, so yeah, I'm running into those problems. So different problems as to why I can't sleep. But all right, let's clean this all up. I think I'm just gonna end up smoothing this and doing like a reduce on it. So I'm not worried too much about. I'm just making sure
Consumable item effect.
nothing's gonna give me a funky shape right now.
Data.
Let's do that. Go. Bang, bang. There you go. So now it's all connected up the way it should be. It's quantified as much as possible. So now we're going to smooth it out. Oh no, what was that? Oh, it kept the tire. That's weird. Get rid of that. See some extra pieces. Get rid of that. What is happening here? What's happening here? There's some faces that are just odd. I don't like this at all. Supposed to be my pile of junk. What are you doing? Okay, well, let's try this. We'll settle first, and then we can go in here and get rid of these faces. Why can I not get rid of this thing? Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Because it's two different pieces. Oh, I duplicated the whole object. That's why. There we go. Okay. Now, this thing on top, I want to smooth it, but I want to smooth it using the tools. I don't want to smooth it in the traditional way. Like smoothing it like this would just multiply the faces, essentially. I want to actually smooth the shape out, right? So what we're going to do is go to sculpting tools. Yeah, here we go. So the smooth tool here is different. It's a different kind of smooth. Like the polygon mesh. There we go. So see how when I click, this is way too big. Let's make this smaller. There we go. So now see how when I click here, it's going to smooth out. It's going to separate the lines from each other, right? So this means it's actually smoothing out the shape. And I'm going to be really careful and try not to touch towards the bottom here, because what I want is I want the overall shape to get smooth. And, you know, an irregularness to this is totally fine, because this is supposed to be like a pile of dirt or gravel or something like that, right? He's a wheelbarrow, so he's going to be carrying stuff for us. So anything in here, even if it ends up looking a little odd or we have a piece sticking out, that just kind of plays into what we want. So totally fine. We just don't want it to look so square-ish, because the way we made it, it was a little bit too square of a pile of stuff, right? So there we go. We'll just kind of hit it a couple times, get it down there a little bit. You know, then we'll do a reduce on it. So we'll reduce the poly count as much as we can, bring it down a little bit, and then we'll smooth it the way we've been smoothing it, and then clean it up a little bit. So it's going to go through a little bit of a process. There you go. That's pretty good. Now, one thing I'm kind of thinking ahead of what we're going to need here is this is going to be a character that's going to move around and like deposit stuff for us. So the exact nature of where this pivot is probably going to be very important. So what I'm going to want to do is move this pivot, right? And we still need to get rid of those faces on the bottom, but we'll leave them for now. I want to move this pivot, but oh, I think I need to fully drop that tool. All right, settle that. There we go. So we're going to move the pivot somewhere like this underneath him, so that the idea is in Unity we can slowly like scale this down. See, that's not going to work quite yet. Okay, maybe pivot in line with these vertices. Something like that would be nice. We can make, maybe you'll have to make some smaller versions, or even a blend tree to kind of blend down to say that you're actually getting less of it because you're depositing it. So I'll come back to that thought. So I won't bore you guys to tears with that, but that's going to be part of what we're making. So let's give this an appropriate name. We'll call this wheelbarrow pile. I don't know, like whatever it is you're carrying. There it is. Okay, now we can go to below here. I can't even see them, but there's some faces there we can get rid of. There we go. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And then we just need to smooth it out as far as visually is concerned. And that's pretty good. All right. Now, this guy has 2 parts, and I haven't done anything to them as far as changing their name or anything like that. So we should be able to, if I settle this, there we go. And the wheel is good as well. We will do a refresh on that. So that settles without changing the pivot, because we need the pivot to be where it is so that the wheel can spin, right? So now this guy's all good to go. I can just grab him by name and go and put him right back in the project, and we'll see him update. So let me grab this and say assets, third party, polygon construction, models, select. Now watch this. So go here. So here's all of our characters that we're working on, right? And here's the way the model currently exists. You see it's got this weird upturn kind of thing. They actually added some like a little bit of like a dent in here. And you notice it's missing that middle bar here that we were showing off, right?
So
and the wheel's not smooth. It's the rough
unconsumed
8-sided polygons. So this is what it looks like now. But because I have it here in and I've edited the model, then I'm just going to replace it with itself. So if I just say export now, it's going to say, hey, this already exists. Do you want to replace this? I say yes. There we go. And we come here and boom, instant upgrade. Look at how cool he looks now, right? So now let's move him over here in the sun. So we got a couple of things we need to work on for the UVs. See right there? That's okay. Totally okay. There we go. So now we have, yeah, boom. Now we have this crossbar, right? So let's bring our dude over here. And I'm going to rotate him like this just so he's kind of facing sort of the way that he would be facing, right? And he's popping a wheel. He's like,
so basically, though, I want to do...
you notice these lines here in our shadow. So that's from the shadow properties. So if I bring this over here, let's line this up with my... There we go. So the way to fix that is you open up the mesh renderer under cast shadows, set that to 2-sided, and it should fix it. Wait, was I on the right thing when I did that? No, I was not. There we go. Now I'm on the wheelbarrow. Cast shadows, 2-sided. There you go. Look at that. Cleaned up the shadow, and now I also need to do it for the wheel as well. Make sure I'm on the wheel. Yes. 2-sided. Boom. Solid shadows. There we go. Okay, let's give you your customary... So this guy's name is Willie Barrow. So we have some great names, by the way. I'll introduce you to the whole cast in just a second. But this is Willie Barrow, and he needs his eyes. So we go to prefabs, and we have some brand new NPC eyes. And we're going to throw those on Willie Barrow. There we go. So currently they look like this. And what we're going to do is move them. And we'll move that center point to roughly where we want kind of the middle of his eyes to go. So somewhere like that. And then what I found is I can adjust one eye and then copy and paste the setting. So we will scale this eye down, move it over here. And we want to put it kind of up like this. And I'm going to rotate him. I'm going to put his eyes sort of like this. Just because it looks good and makes sense kind of to me. Well, maybe not. He's not quite able to look forward then, right? All right, so let's just try to make the most of this. We could always make some changes to our model too. So I think we might do that as well, but we'll put his one eye, excuse you, we'll put his one eye kind of like there. And then watch this. I'm going to go over here and say copy the full component, go to the second eye, and I will paste those values, and it's right on top of it. But now if I go to the X value and put a negative number in there, it'll put it mirrored on the other side of him. So there you go. There's his eyes, right? So now there's going to be a mini game kind of thing where you have to help him go around and like deliver the supplies, and you're going to have to steer because he won't be able to see when the pile of dirt is in his way, right? So you'll be on top here, and then you'll have control to like drive around, stop at a point, hit a button, and you'll do the shoveling thing so that it'll get out of his way. Okay. But you see how we have a problem here, how the eyes just sort of stick out. I'd like more of a solid backing to them. Let's go back to the model. And what we can do here, maybe we can make this more straight up. So I'll show you if I we would need to maybe modify that middle part. Okay, I got an idea. So I'm going to make a little extra piece that we can do here. So I'm going to bevel these out a little bit. That's actually not bad. That's about what I was expecting. And now I'm going to take just these couple of faces and just extrude straight up. Right? Then I'll flatten that. There we go. And now if we can kind of round that off a little bit, that can be a little spot to hang your tools or your towel or something, and then it kind of flows in with our character here. So what I'm going to do is select all the edges along this top face here, and I do want to come down into these, but that's going to be a little tricky. So we'll do these first, and now we'll do a bevel on those 2 segments so that it gets nice and round. Now you see how it doesn't look quite as good on the back because we didn't do the back part, but I think this will be pretty good right here. And now we'll just kind of clean up the connections here a little bit. So these connections, if I drag out to there and drag out to there, that's pretty good. And then those can connect. And then here, I'll cut across like that. And then we'll just clean this up like so. There you go. Now, we don't care anymore about the part of, is it the right thing to do the quads and such, because we're now at the point where we're past that. Now we're just sort of like in cleanup. So it's totally fine to kind of make some triangles here. And that's good because it's just going to sit like this from now on. Now we will need to come back and do one more round of cleanup later on when I start to rig and skin all these guys to kind of give them a little bit of the ability to animate so they can kind of, twist and turn and maybe turn their heads and that kind of thing. So we'll come back and do some more of that. So I think that'll be pretty good to kind of hold the sockets there for the eyes so that he has a little place to put his eyes. And the cool part is we can test it. So now just grab this and it's got the same name. You see how there's all these changes here. That's what I just did.
That just needs to be
So for all these changes, we'll say settle, grab the object. It's got the same name, export, overlap it again. Yep. Overwrite. I said overlap. And there you go. Now we can see, okay, now he's got that little bit more of a backing for his eyes, which it feels a little bit better. So I will go to his one eye, scale it down just a little bit more, and kind of really kind of seat it in that backing. It feels a little bit better. And let's bring it in just a little bit as well. There we go. So then we'll copy that. Again, copy the whole component, go to the other eye, paste the component, and then put the negative sign. There we go. So we added a little bit of extra bit to our guy. And now he's looking good. Now, this bit here, I need to clean up the UVs for this, so we'll do that in just a second. But yeah, we'll put the dirt tile there, and you'll be able to ride along, no problem. And this wheel also needs some smoothing out, so we'll take care of that. But let me show you all the other characters really quick and just kind of run down the roster with you guys and let you guys introduce to everybody. And then you can help me with a couple of, we still need a couple of names and things. But in no particular order, just kind of starting from, let's do this way round. So we have, this is our excavator, which right now his name is Rexcavator. But I was asking around to the group and I came up with some additional names. And right now, oh, something is happening. What's happening? Oh, thank you. Subscribe for 3 months. Oh, wow, Button. Thank you so much. That's incredible. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, my friend. That is so generous. Better every day. Yes, absolutely. That is the goal. Thank you, my friend. So if you guys didn't know, Button, as you just see right there, he's been helping me work on the game. So he's been making some huge improvements, which I'm going to show you in just a little bit. I'm really excited to show you how much better this whole process has gotten because of his hard work. So I really cannot thank you enough. And oh, it looks like you got the golden. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you subscribed for X number of months, you're now at that golden part. That's so cool. Thank you again. That's amazing. So as I was saying, for the excavator, we came up with some additional names, and I'm gonna put them in chat for you guys, and you tell me what you think is a better name. So, what is a better name for the excavator? I think I spelled that right. And here are some Oh, well, first let's spell the word name correctly. Oh my goodness, man. Here's some options for you. So we have Dirt Reynolds, which is the leading contender. We have Clayton Diggerby. If we made it a female character, she'd be called Tara Turner, because she turns the earth, you know. Diggy Smalls, I do like that as well. And then it'd be like Sir Digglesworth, or, you know, Henry Digglesworth or something like that. But
game.
I think everybody is really liking Dirt Reynolds at the moment. So let me know what you guys think in the chat if you have a suggestion. But I have been working on this model today, cleaning it up and making like getting rid of like this Cinco stuff, and doing all the same process we do for the models where we make them smoother. Adding onto the pile, dug hole. Nice, nice. I mean, you know, that might be a good name for like the smaller one. You know, we could have this guy in there as well at one point. So definitely, yeah. Button has come up with a lot of the ones you see here. We were talking back and forth. So so we have Dirt Reynolds here, or whatever his name is going to be. This guy is Sir Crush-A-Lot. So this is like, it's I forget what the name of the tool is, but it's designed to kind of like compact down gravel and such. I think it's actually called a compactor. Here we have Larry Lavelle. So he is a level. And there'll be a mini game where you have to like press the button left or right to kind of like add a little bit and get the bubble to be centered. So he's going to be a French character. We have Ratchet, and we're going to have his partner Clink, so that we don't get you know, any copyright issues. But both Button and I are huge Ratchet and Clank fans. I have Ratchet and Clank, I want to say, third shelf there, right there. Yeah, they're on the end there. It's backwards in the camera. There you go. So yeah, huge Ratchet and Clank fans. So we'll have Ratchet and Clink. Then we have Rusty Spanner. So a spanner is the term for this kind of a wrench, if you weren't familiar. And Rusty is both like, it's a great name for a guy, and it's a great name for, you know, the tool is Rusty. This is one of my favorite characters, is Nailer Swift. So she has like eyes like a chicken, which just makes me laugh. Oh, we have to turn on her shadows. Let's see, double-sided. There you go. And she can't see that well, and of course she's the one shooting nails. So, gotta jump. See you later. Thank you very much, Risky. Thank you for being here. I was about to call you Polly because I was reading the screen. Thank you, Risky. Appreciate you. So she can't see very well.